Hey guys, Duke here, and today I wanted to make a super simple guide on how to complete the Copies of Copies challenge in the 8-Tracks 1 encounter in Deep Stone Crypt. The overall goal of this challenge is to never get rid of the 8-Tracks replication balls, aka the purple balls that drop, through the airlocks, but instead juggle them until 8-Tracks is defeated. I know there's been a lot of talk about doing what's called the 646 strat, or in some way or another changing how people would normally go about doing the raid. But I found that as someone who Sherpas a lot of new or less experienced people through the raid, those strats can add a lot of unnecessary stress and difficulty to the encounter. If you are with a group that is all comfortable with the encounter and the movement required for those strategies, absolutely go for it. But this strategy is built around being as simple and low stress as possible. Also, a quick note is that contrary to popular belief, you actually do not have to one phase, which I will show you how this strat accounts for that, and how it lowers the pressure of having everyone having to have great DPS if you do have a few lesser experienced or potentially under-leveled teammates. The strategy I choose to run for this challenge is actually the same way I would run it normally, with just a couple of very small changes. There will be 3 roles required for this strategy: a top scanner, a bottom scanner, and an operator. When the encounter starts, your top operator and 1 additional person will head up top to start killing adds. The 4 remaining players will kill adds on the bottom. Once the servitors spawn bottom, that team will kill them right away and call out where the operator vandal spawns. Once the operator vandal is defeated, the assigned operator will grab the buff and head up top as well. As a reminder, make sure that once the operator is up top, they shoot down the pods so that they can be used by the bottom team players later. Top team can then kill servitors and find the scanner vandal. Make sure that before the final servitor is killed that the operator is up top and ready, and that the scanner has acquired the buff and is ready to look for the DPS 8-Tracks. You will then DPS as per normal. A couple quick tips on maximizing DPS. First, Loosen Blade, as well as a way to become charged with light, such as taking charge, is extremely helpful here, assuming everyone is running the Lament, which I highly recommend getting and using if you don't already have it, as it is a wonderful choice. There's also a bit of conflicting information out there about how to DPS 8-Tracks using the Lament. Should you do 2 light attacks and then a heavy, or 3 light attacks and a heavy? I have found that it is definitely possible to do 3 lights and a heavy successfully, and without him doing the healing thing many people complain about, but your timing needs to be just about perfect on when everyone is starting DPS. So my recommendation is if you are in position in time and can start DPS right as all of your other teammates are, do 3 lights and a heavy. If you get set up for DPS just a little bit late, or are just a little bit less comfortable overall, then do 2 lights and a heavy. From here, the encounter works as it normally would, with scanner passing the buff down and bottom team doing their DPS cycle. The difference is, like I mentioned earlier, we cannot get rid of our replications. Instead, have the person who picks up the replication just chill up top in one of the corners and have the operator shoot them off as the bottom team starts their DPS. That will reset that person's replication back up to 40 seconds. Once scanner is passed back up top, you will do another DPS and then pass the scanner back down bottom. At this point, both non-operator top players will have a replication, and one of your 2 non-scanner bottom players should be up top with a replication as well. Have your operator shoot all of the replications off to reset them all back to 40 seconds. Also, a quick note. If your 3 replication players stand next to each other here, you can sometimes get 2 of the replications to merge into 1. This is not necessary at all to complete the challenge, but it can be helpful, or at the very least is good to know about in case it happens accidentally, so you don't panic that the ball disappeared. Once the remaining bottom 2 members finish their final DPS, have them both come up top as well so that all 6 members are now on the top floor. At this point, you should be at the final stand if everyone has proper loadouts and setups, but even if not, it is not a problem as I will show here. If you aren't at final stand, there will be quite a bit of downtime as this is normally the phase reset time to get rid of any remaining replications in the airlocks. But for this challenge, just keep chilling in the corner and have your operator reset your buffs around 20 seconds. Eventually, the servitors will respawn, which you can kill again. Note that since no one is on the bottom to kill the bottom servitors, it will take a little bit longer for this next 5th DPS phase to start if you do end up needing to go this far. Once the phase starts, you will have all 6 people up top for this final DPS to push him to final stand. At that point, go back up top near the airlocks, have your operator shoot off all of the replications, and kill 8-Tracks in final stand as you normally would. Note that you do not need to re-pick up these replications once they are shot off of you in final stand, as even with them sitting on the ground, they have a 40-second timer. You will either successfully get the kill, or wiped due to taking too long to DPS in Final Stand much before those replications will kill you, so this can be a handy tip for people to not panic during what can be a very frantic last few seconds of the encounter. And that is the Copies of Copies challenge completed. I hope this video helped with a little bit of a less stressful and repeatable strategy that you can employ with your raid groups. A like is always appreciated if you enjoyed the video, and any feedback is encouraged. And as always, have a wonderful day.